All right, this is not happy. We're going to use the Evidence Bible, the New King James Version. Get some little kitty cats here hanging out. And they're going to do their thing. But we are going to go to Exodus 20, and we're going to look at the Ten Commandments. And we're going to just do a brief overview of what they say and what they're about, and just cover a couple simple things. So we're about to get into the servant. Okay, we're going to get into the servant. Who is the suffering servant in Isaiah 53? And we're going to lead up to that with a couple videos about how we can see how the Bible in its poetic language, translated from Hebrew to Greek to English, covers some of these things. Okay, so we're going to start with the Ten Commandments and just kind of, we're just going to desensitize you to this idea that the Bible says he, him, she, you, they, all these pronouns can't mean a city, can't mean a community, can't mean a country or a nation, and how Jacob can be many and Israel can be one. This is just, look at this. Just look at what the Bible says, all right? Simple things. And God spoke all these words, saying, all right, he is speaking to Moses on Mount Sinai, but in the first 2 to 3 commandments, God is speaking to 3 million plus Jews who can hear him. They can hear it. And there's a break in the commandments where they say, dude, we can't listen to God. We can't, if we hear him, we are going to die. You need to go up there by yourself and listen to what he says alone so we will survive. Okay? And Moses goes back up and does that. Well, let me just see how God says it. He's talking to the entire nation of Israel, and in the big picture, he's talking to the world. But look what he says. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt and out of the house of bondage. You, as in he's talking directly to you, but he's not. He's talking to all of the people. So right here we have the first introduction to what the Isaiah 53 is going to be like. The poetic language of God, of Hebrew, the Hebrew language. He's saying you, which sounds like one person, but he means millions of people. Okay? You shall have no other gods. You shall not make for yourself. You shall not take the name. Okay? Get it? Remember the Sabbath day. Keep it holy. That's not Sunday. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day, the Sabbath, to the Lord your God, is in it you shall do no work. You, nor your son, nor your daughter, your male servant, your female servant. All right? Servants, or servant, yeah. One, all right? The idea that this is supposed to be singular is insane. It's not. It's obviously meaning many, many, many people, many, many millions of people, and perhaps close to 1 billion people, although we know there weren't 1 billion people on the planet at that time. We simply know that God is saying you in a plural, but it's being said as a singular. Okay? So when we get to Isaiah 53, when it's talking about a singular, it doesn't mean it as a singular. It's Jacob is him, Jacob is he, and Jacob is also Israel, which means millions of people, which means an entire nation. Okay, so we can see it way back here in Exodus, how God intends for us to understand his message. No singulars, all right? When he wants singular, he makes it very clear. He spends chapters making it singular before he gets to the really important stuff, or it's all important. And you'll see. I'll show you. But here we are, just another example of how what we think could be plural can easily be singular. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. Who's he talking to? Just Moses? So only Moses has to do this? No. You, as in anyone who can hear me or read this. That's how God works. Not like you think. Not like Christianity tells you. Don't believe that. Go back and check for yourself. And if you're not sure the English you have is correct, ask a rabbi to give you the Hebrew or learn Hebrew yourself, like I've done, which is helping a lot. Thank you. Does God really say that? He does say that. Look at that. Right there. You think he's just talking to Moses? Obviously not.